This lesson is going to be on solving literal equations. We have 2ax minus 5x equals 2 when we're solving it for x. When we're solving it for x, we cannot have the x be equal to some expression that includes the x in it. So when I look at this, I notice that I have two x terms in my equation. I cannot combine them, so I have to come up with another way to only have there be one x. When I look at the left side, I realize they have x in common. So I'm going to factor out an x from each of these two terms. 2ax divided by x is 2a. Negative 5x divided by x is negative 5. And it's still equal to 2. Now I only have one x term. So I have x times the expression 2a minus 5. So I can divide by 2a minus 5 on each side. 2a minus 5 and 2a minus 5 cancel out. I'm just left with x is equal to 2 over 2a minus 5. Now that I have it as x equals something, that would be the solution to this literal equation for x. The equation for the volume of a cylinder is V equals pi r squared h. The positive value of r in terms of h and v is what? So all this problem is asking us for is the positive value of r. That means we need r to be equal to some expression. So we have v equals pi r squared h. To get rid of the pi and the h, since they're all being multiplied, I can just divide by pi h. So I'm left with v over pi h is equal to, here the pi's cancel out and the h's cancel out, I'm left with r squared. Now to get rid of the squared, I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And since we're only looking for the positive version, we just have the square root of v over pi h is equal to r. Solve the literal equation for x. I notice there are still two x terms here. I can't combine them, so I'm going to factor out an x from each of these two terms. When I factor it out, I'm left with 6a minus 4, and the 3 just stays the same. Now it's x times 6a minus 4, so I'm going to divide both sides by 6a minus 4. 6a minus 4 and 6a minus 4 cancels out on the left side and just leaves me with x. And then on the right side, I can't divide it, so I just have x equals 3 divided by the expression 6a minus 4. Solve this equation for x. I have two x terms that I cannot combine, so I'm going to factor out an x, so I just have one x term. So I divide both terms by x. 4x divided by x is 4. Negative 3yx divided by x is negative 3y is equal to 7w plus 2. Now since it's x times 4 minus 3y, I'm going to divide both sides by 4 minus 3y. 4 minus 3y and 4 minus 3y cancels out to just leave me with x. And on the right hand side, I can't divide that, so I just leave it as 7w plus 2 over 4 minus 3y. Solve this equation for y. I notice the y is inside my radical. So I want to get the radical by itself first by subtracting 7 from each side. So I'm left with radical 6y minus 5x is equal to 4w minus 7. To get rid of the square root, I'm going to square both sides. So I have to square this whole expression of 4w minus 7. On the left, the square root and the square cancel each other out. So we're just left with 6y minus 5x is equal to 4w minus 7 squared. Now that I have this y out of the square root, I can just move the 5x over by adding 5x to each side. I cannot add into the parentheses because those parentheses are being squared. So I'm just left with 6y is equal to 4w minus 7 squared plus 5x. Now I'm going to divide each term by 6. And I can't divide the 6 into the parentheses either. So I'm just left with y equals 4w minus 7 squared plus 5x all over 6.